Welcome to the costing lesson on the From-To charge report. In today's lesson, we will learn what is the From-To report, what are the prerequisites for the report, and how to run the report. Let's get started. So what is a From-To charge report? This report collects all the GL transaction cost information for the selected time period. Accounts will review this report to audit the transactions to ensure that they are posting to the correct GL account. It will show the debit and credit amount associated with each transaction, and it will show a summary of the total debit and credit to each GL account. The report is run once to audit the details, then run again to create a batch that can be posted to the integrated accounting package. Let's talk about what needs to be in place prior to running the report. Before the report will provide accurate information, the chart of accounts must be set up in the Financial Integration module. These types of accounts should all be in place to prevent the account not found errors on the report: default, stock, override, and non-inventory. More information on setting up these accounts is available in the Financial Integration lesson on maintaining GL accounts. There also must be transactions processed for the date range that the report will run. This could be an inventory movement, shop order movement transactions, or others. We're ready to run the report. These are the steps we'll follow to run the To-From charge report. From the System Manager, Finance tab, select the Costing module. Then from the Reports menu, select the From-To charge. Then first run the report to view the transactions and review for any missing accounts. Once we've done that and made sure the necessary information is correct, we will run it again. This prepares the transactions to be posted by the GL Transactions utility. This is the step that updates the integrated financial package. From the System Manager, go to the Finance tab and select the Costing module. When the Costing window opens, select the Reports menu and select the From-To charge menu item. And the From-To charge report window will open. In the Sort By fields, you have the option to see the debits or the credits first by clicking the appropriate radio button. We will sort by debit within credit. Then we'll select the data range of transactions we want to see on the report. Enter both the starting and ending date. We recommend that you run the report on a weekly basis to limit the number of transactions that need to be audited at one time. The maximum number of records that can be sent to Great Plains is 10,000. So if you are integrated with that accounting package, you should run the report with a frequency that will keep the number of transactions below 10,000. You can also modify the date that prints on the report. It defaults to the current date. For auditing purposes, we recommend that you do leave the date as the default. Now we'll talk about the items in the Options area. The first item is the Update GL work file. Checking this option creates a batch and keeps that batch in a holding file where it can then be posted via the Post GL Transactions utility in the Financial Integration module at a later date. This utility is what sends the totals to the integrated accounting package. If you select this option, Exclude Already Posted Entries and Excluded Accounts Posted in AP and AR options are automatically selected by default, but they may be manually deselected. We recommend that you run this report first with this report option turned off. Next field is Exclude Already Posted Entries. Exclude entries previously posted in the Post General Ledger in the Financial Integration. And the field for Exclude Accounts Posted in AP and AR, mark this to exclude any accounts and transactions that have already been posted to Accounts Payable or Accounts Receivable from Financial Integration. The item for Summary Report only. Mark this to print only the summary report, which lists total dollars for each account. And the item for Save the Work file as ACCTWK.DAT. This saves the file created during the report process in the Account Week file. Each time the report is run, the file will overwrite the previous file in the same path. To save the previous file, you must rename or move it to a different directory. And the last one, use transaction history cost. When transaction is processed, the cost of the time of the transaction is saved in the transaction history table. When this report is run, it will use the cost at the time that the report is run unless you check this box. This option should only be used if you are using costing methods average or last purchased, and only if those accounts are being saved to the part master and not a cost set. For more information on this topic, consult with your implementation consultant. We're ready to run the report. Click on the Report button. When the report opens, you can see in the header the dates it was run for and if a batch was created. Here we can see an example of a receipt transaction. We can see the account it is credited to and debited to, the transaction quantity, and the associated cost. You can see the debit account is not available. This tells us that we are missing the setup of the debit side of the transaction and will need to correct that before we will run the update option selected. If it is not corrected, this transaction will be dropped from the batch. By clicking the forward arrow, you can page through the details to the summary page. The summary page will show all the accounts that will be debited or credited for this batch and the amounts. This also gives us a view if there are any missing accounts that need to be set up before creating the batch. Once you have audited the report, you can close the report window. After fixing any incorrect data or missing accounts, we are now ready to create the batch file. Using the same date ranges as the preview report, select the Update GL Work File checkbox to create the batch, and click the Report button. We can now see that a batch has been created and a batch number has been assigned. The transactions are now ready to be posted to your integrated accounting package via the Financial Integration PostGL Transaction utility. And that's it. After today's lesson, you should now have a good understanding of what the From-To report does, the setup required prior to running the report, and how to run the report. Thank you for taking part in Exact Training.